Hello and welcome, everyone. Have you ever stood at the edge of a high-end kitchen and just wondered, how does all that beautiful chaos work so perfectly? Well, it's not chaos at all. It's a language. And today, we're going to decode that secret language. This is an absolutely essential tool for every single one of you, no matter where you are in the hospitality world. So, let's dive right in. So, here's our game plan for today. We're going to start with the why, the secret language itself. Then we'll build up from the very foundations, sauces and prep. We'll get into the artistry of precision cuts, talk about the magic of heat and time, and then follow a dish from the kitchen pass right to the table. And finally, the most important part, how you become the ultimate taste translator for your guests. So why does all this matter? I mean, really? Well, this is so much more than a French vocabulary lesson. This language, which was standardized by the absolute legend Georges-Auguste Escoffier, is the universal code of our industry. It means a chef in Paris and a server in London are speaking the exact same language. For you, mastering this means you're not just taking an order. You're understanding the craft, the history, and the very soul of luxury service. To anyone on the outside, a busy kitchen sounds like, well, just a lot of noise. But to a professional, it's a symphony. And our goal today is to hand you the sheet music. We're going to take this so-called foreign tongue and make it your second language. And with it, you're going to have the confidence of a true industry insider. Every truly great creation, whether it's a building or a meal, starts with a solid foundation. And in the culinary world, that foundation is all about the core preparations, really the DNA of just about every dish you'll ever come across. So let's start with the absolute first principle of any professional kitchen. Mise en place, it literally means everything in its place. But listen, this is not just about being neat and tidy. It's a whole philosophy. It is the absolute discipline of having every single ingredient prepped and ready before the cooking even starts. This one practice is what separates a kitchen spiraling into chaos from one that operates with this beautiful, calm, seamless efficiency. It's the bedrock of professionalism. Okay, now let's talk about the building blocks of flavor. Think of these 5 sauces as the primary colors of the culinary world. They're the mother sauces, and almost every classic sauce you can think of comes from one of them. For instance, you take a simple bechamel, you add some cheese, and boom, you've got a rich Mornay sauce. The big takeaway for you is this. If you know the mother, you instantly understand a sauce's flavor base, its texture, and even things like potential allergens. It's a powerful shortcut. So, from the foundation of sauces, let's move on to the artistry of the cut. I promise you, precision knife skills are not just for show. The way you cut an ingredient directly changes how it cooks, how it feels in your mouth, and of course, the sheer elegance of the final plate. And this right here is a perfect example of the skill we're talking about. It's a process of refinement. First, you create the julienne, those perfect thin little matchsticks. Then you take those matchsticks and you dice them into a brunoise, a tiny, perfect, jewel-like cube. See, this isn't just topping vegetables. It's more like culinary architecture. So what story does a knife cut actually tell? Well, a brunoise screams elegance, precision, and a delicate texture. On the other hand, something like a paysanne cut, which is more informal and rustic, it tells you this dish is probably going to be hearty, comforting, like a traditional stew. The cut itself is the first clue to the dish's entire personality. All right, we've prepped our ingredients, our cuts are perfect. Now it's time to add heat. And the cooking method, well, that's what gives an ingredient its soul. It's what transforms its character and its texture into something really, really special. Let's look at 2 incredible ways to get that melt-in-your-mouth luxury with slow cooking. First, you've got confit. Just imagine a duck leg slowly, gently poaching in its own fat until it is unbelievably rich and tender. Then you have braising. Think of a short rib seared first for that deep flavor, then simmered for hours until it is just falling off the bone. Both use low, slow heat, but they create 2 completely different and equally amazing results. And then you've got the modern game changer, sous vide. This is the secret weapon in so many high-end kitchens today. By cooking food under vacuum in a water bath with a perfectly controlled temperature, chefs can get a level of consistency and tenderness that's almost impossible any other way. You know that steak that's perfectly pink from edge to edge? Yep, that is the magic of sous vide. So we've built the dish, it's perfect. Now it's time to get it to the guest. And this brings us to the most critical, high-stakes moment in the restaurant, the pass. that little piece of neutral territory where the kitchen's masterpiece is handed off to the front of the house. And that whole handover is managed by a system called the Brigade de Cuisine. You see how it works? Everything flows down from the head chef to all these specialized stations. The saucier's got the sauces, the poissonnier handles the fish, garde-manger does the cold dishes. Now, knowing this isn't just trivia, it's incredibly practical. If a guest says their salad is missing dressing, you know exactly who to talk to. The garde-manger. It makes communication so much more efficient. If you listen closely at the pass, you'll hear the expediter or the ébouilleur calling the shots. Marche, that's the call to fire the order, to start cooking. Envoi, that's the final command. It means the dish is ready, it's perfect, and it's time for you to take it to the table. These two words are literally the heartbeat that drives the rhythm of service. And now we've reached the final and, I think, the most important part of our whole journey. This is where all this knowledge comes together for you. This is what empowers you to do more than just drop off a plate of food. It's what turns you into a storyteller for the chef, a translator. With this vocabulary, you can turn a simple menu into a sensory invitation. You can explain that the pasta is served al dente, so it has that perfect, satisfying bite, that the soup has a velouté texture, which means it's luxuriously smooth, or that the incredible glossy shine on a sauce comes from a technique called monté au beurre. These are the details that truly excite a guest. And with this knowledge, you also become the guide for the entire meal. You're not just bringing food, you're setting the stage. You can introduce the amuse-bouche as a little welcome gift from the chef. You can explain the trou normand as a refreshing pause between courses. And you can present them in your dishes as that final, perfect sweet note. You are basically orchestrating the guest's entire culinary journey. So let's just boil it all down to this one crucial point. Your role is now elevated. You are not just a server. You are the vital link, the bridge between the artist in the kitchen and the guest at the table. You are the translator of taste, and let me tell you, that is an incredibly powerful and important role to have in this industry. So there you have it. We've just unlocked the vocabulary of the kitchen. You now have the language to describe, to explain, and to share the incredible passion that goes into every single dish. The only question left is, what amazing stories are you going to tell?